This build takes everything good about a hunter and gives it to our warlock. We're able to go invisible and debuff all our surrounding enemies, which makes it easier to complete harder content while on your warlock. We're going to be combining Felwinter's Helm with Void 3.0 so we can gain invisibility and stay invisible while finishing enemies. This build is not going to be an ability spam build, it's going to be a finisher spam build. So we're going to just get all of our enemies weak, and then we're going to do a finisher, and with that finisher we're able to disorient and apply a 30% debuff to all our surrounding enemies and stay invisible. While invisible, we are going to have the perk Devour proc, so we're able to consistently regen our health, popping in and out of invisibility when we choose. You're able to clear legendary lost sectors by yourself with this build because you're debuffing all the enemies and popping in and out of invisibility when you do want to do so. Let's jump straight into it so I can show you guys exactly how to set this build up right. The mods on this build are not going to be anything special. We just want to be spamming our finisher a lot, so we'll jump into the mod second. Let's jump into the Void 2.0 subclass so you guys can see exactly what I'm running to be able to pop in and out of invisibility. For the aspect, we do have Feed the Void and Child of the Old Gods, which with Feed the Void, any ability kill we do get will give us Devour, and Devour is one of the few ways we are able to regen our health consistently with this build. We're going to be rocking Suppressor Grenade. This build is all about debuffing our targets, staying invisible, and staying agile. We're going to be playing almost like a hunter, but on our warlock. Since I don't main on hunter, I love trying to use different builds that are mainly associated with the hunter on my warlock. So we're picking up suppressor grenades, so we're able to just suppress all of the enemies in front of us, or we're not able to pop off a finisher. So you can pop your grenade to suppress all the enemies, then get close to them and do enough damage to be able to actually do your finisher if the enemies are very far away. That's why we do have suppressor grenade. For the aspects, we do have Feed the Void gives us Devour, and then Child of the Old Gods gives us a way to actually drain enemies from afar after we do pop our rift. For the fragments, we do have Echo of Starvation. Echo of Starvation gives us the ability to get Devoured by picking up a Void Breach or an Orb of Power. And once we do defeat any target, we will be granting ourselves a Void Breach, which also gives us ability energy back on pickup. We do have Echo of Cessation, so finisher final blows will create a burst of void damage that causes nearby enemies to become volatile. And once we defeat those volatile targets, we're going to create a Void Breach, and as I said, with Echo of Starvation, pick up that Void Breach will grant us Devour. Echo of Obscurity gives us the ability to gain invisibility from using a finisher, and it's going to give us a nice 10% recovery. We're going to combine that with Echo of Persistence, so our void buffs that have been applied to us, aka invisibility and Devour, now have an increased duration. You can pretty much keep up your invisibility as much as a Omni Oculus Hunter if you can consistently get close to enemies and pop your finisher and pick and choose what enemies you want to do finishers on. This build gives us the exact same setup with that. The only downfall with this build is that you're not able to actually give your invisibility to your teammates. This invisibility is only for yourself, and that's it for the Void 2.0 subclass. For the mods we do run, we're going to be running very standard mods on this build. The only thing we need to keep in mind is that we want to spawn Orbs of Power, and with those Orbs of Power we need our armor chart stacks to have the perk called Proximity Ward, so when we do go for a finisher, we're going to gain an overshield. Other than that, our mods are pretty much standard. We have our siphons on our helmet, Kinetic Siphon and Void Siphon, since we were using a void weapon. On our gauntlets we have Fireball, Fastball, and Impact Induction. Fastball is going to make sure that our grenade throw distance is increased, so we're able to actually suppress enemies from afar, and Impact Induction makes sure that when we do cause damage with our melee attack, we're going to reduce our grenade cooldown. On our chest piece we have Void Damage Resist, Harmonic Siphon, which is tied to your subclass resist. On our chest piece we have Solar Resist, Arc Resist, and Harmonic Resist. Harmonic Resistance is actually tied to your subclass, and when we do have Harmonic Resist while equipped with the Void 3.0 subclass, all 3 damage archetypes covered. On our feet we have Invigoration, so we're going to reduce the cooldown of our melee ability each time we pick up an Overpower. Invigoration, so we're going to reduce our grenade cooldown, and better already, so we're just gaining even more health when we pick up an Overpower. Now the only key thing to keep in mind is on your Warlock bond you want to have Proximity Ward, so when you do a finisher you will gain an overshield. This is how I'm able to tank a lot of damage when going for big enemies to do the finisher on. We have special finishers, so we're going to be gaining special ammo anytime we do finish an enemy. This is just going to give us very good ammo economy when running harder difficult content where ammo doesn't spawn that often. And then we have one more Bomber. We have Bomber. Bomber is going to reduce your grenade cooldown when using your class ability. And that's pretty much it for the build. This build is all about suppressing your targets, doing a lot of damage, going in and out of invisibility, and it's not really focused on an ability spam build. This is more of a gunplay that really focuses on using your using your guns and using your movement to stay alive while going invisible and dealing damage when you want to, debuffing a lot of targets, and just completing harder legendary content by yourself. This build gives you that capability. I was able to clear the legendary lost sector pretty easily with this build, so if you guys like it, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.